3 months from now, me, my husband, and our 3 kids could be living in France. And we're leaving behind a pretty good life here. I mean, we had good careers, we've got a nice house, we've got good friends, we've got schools that are good. So why on earth, why on earth would we risk all of that in our 40s? Maybe you're with me now because something stopped you, made you think. Maybe you're like me, you did everything that you're supposed to do, career, good job, bought the nice house, you're raising children and you're giving them everything they could possibly want. And yet there's this feeling inside that, is this what it was about? Is this what I was supposed to grow up and do? And it's not because like things are bad. They're never bad. It's because it's not how you expected. It feels something like something's missing. And the life you've built, you feel like you've outgrown it. That's where I was. And this is the video I'm making because, I just couldn't find it. There was nothing out there that said it's okay. The life you've built, you've outgrown. And that's okay. You don't have to stick with it like your parents say until you retire. Things have changed massively, massively. Let me give you some context about me. I spent most of my career building digital systems, so like products, courses, funnels, email marketing for other people's businesses, and I'm good at it. Clients got results. I had a great corporate career doing it. We've got 3 kids. I've got a 10-year-old who knows his own mind and what he's going to do with life. I've got a 7-year-old who's like a firecracker. She's got so much energy and creativity. And I've got a 3-year-old who just loves to explore. We renovated our dream home and moved to another. We had good jobs and kind of done it all. But the thing about a life that's built so that it looks right on the outside, it feels like it was the right steps. You did the sensible things, but it's not right on the inside, means you just keep questioning it. And I realized that I'd just created a trap, and it was a really comfortable trap, but it was one that meant I couldn't travel when I wanted. I couldn't really be there for my kids. I had 22 days holiday a year, and I chased freedom whenever I could, but probably looked in all the wrong places. I tried to fix it the way most people do. So step one was I'm going to leave my job. So we left our dream home. We cut back on our expenses. We left our job. We did some property development because passive income, right? And in some ways, these things kind of work. They kind of give you a bit more control. They make you start to take ownership again, but they don't really liberate you. You're kind of swapping one set of chains for another. So I was building then, funnels, websites, digital courses, and I was really proud of that, but I was still trading time for money. And when I wasn't doing that because I needed to earn a certain amount to then raise money for property investments, nothing was happening. So if I was off for the summer holiday, nothing happened. Now, what I was actually doing is I just kept running in every direction, trying to create freedom based on what every guru was selling me online. And what I realize now is I had to design it. Everything I was running with, it was just running to escape. And you can't run your way to freedom. You can't just keep buying shiny objects and getting freedom. You have to intentionally design it. Now, France, where does France come in? France wasn't the first idea, obviously. We looked at lots of options and we kept coming back to France. Not because of the wine or the weather, although more sun is quite nice, because everything that we started didn't feel right. Ultimately, there was something missing about this way of life, a rich way of life that we were looking for, something where we got to be present and really enjoy things. And in France, the pace of life and the values and the way the French culture genuinely values time with family and the outdoors, that was what we've been missing. And the measure of success here, it's always about more. It's more house, more cars, more job. And it wasn't giving us happiness. It kind of felt like it was taking it away. And honestly, France is just a complete overhaul of everything. It's going to be an overhaul of work. It's going to be an overhaul of lifestyle. And then that started as just a conversation. So in France at Easter, the whole family just went, let's just come here. Let's just go. And then that turned into a visa tab on my desktop, which turned into 23 other tabs. You know how a Google search goes. Which turned into a spreadsheet that then turned into a Google Drive with about 40 different documents in. And that's where we are now. We're in that process, which I will share with you. I will share. But whenever you're doing something like this and you're ditching what you've known and what has been the right path and the proven path to a pathless path, there's always these fears. And I want to be honest about my fears. The financial fear that we're moving before we've built the income, before everything's full, but it's a requirement and we've run the numbers and we've got to make it work. I'd be lying if I didn't say I worry about that. The kids, this one keeps me up most at night. I'm worried about how Am is going to cope at school with the language. Obviously, every child's different. They say they're flexible and they're adaptable, but every child is different. And I am so worried because I am dragging them through this. The other fear is, well, it's not a fear, it's more like a guilt. Like I'm leaving good friends who have been my support network and my rock. I don't rely on family. I rely on other mums and dads to do pickups and help me out. And I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose a lot of that connection, a big support network. And there's one fear that you almost don't want to say out loud because it sounds really hypocritical, but I don't have the answer to this yet. And I've decided that answering this question out loud is better than just ignoring it. So I'm going to keep awareness on it and I'm going to try not to put pride and ego on the line. But what if France is just a more expensive version of the same question, the same problem? And we do it and it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't make it better. But it's cost us a lot of money and time and effort to do it. So here's what this channel is going to be about. It's not a travel channel. This is a channel that's going to be, in part about this woman in her 40s deciding that she's done with the old path and she's going to do something that feels aligned from the inside. I'm going to do it with 3 kids. We've got real financial stakes and I've got no guarantees that this is actually going to work. I'm going to document the next 90 days when we get ready for the move, the visa process, the school research, the financial reality, the conversations with the kids, and all those moments that make it feel worth it or not, as the case may be. And then alongside that, really important, I'm going to share building the income side of it. So I will share some of the system stuff that I already do with people, but I'll also share the moving abroad and how we're going to build that sustainable income, because to move without it is a very expensive, risky holiday. So if you're someone who maybe is over 50, over 40 even, and you're thinking, it's too late. I really hope that this journey shows you that it's not too late. I'm gonna prove it publicly. It's gonna be messy, but we're gonna get there. And before you go, I'd just love to know one thing. If you could redesign just one part of your whole life right now, what would it be? I want you to leave it in the comments. I am going to read every single one. And I suspect that a lot of us, we're just sitting here with the same questions, just in different kitchens. In the next video, you've got the France plan. We're going to do the visa. We're going to do what it costs, what the process is, what takes longer than expected. And I don't want to see you there. And also, we've got one about digital products, making money online, basically from anywhere. I'm going to do a video on that. So join me and I'll see you soon.